What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
As you see, I don't care if it's 60, 70, or 80. Mario Kart World is selling.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's selling.
Look, man.
Woo.
I don't think people understand what the word boycott means. All right. When you boycott something, you're not supposed to pick it up. And you're not supposed to pick up multiple copies of the thing you're boycotting. You're not supposed to buy it.
Or if you're gonna boycott, it's best to go and try to get other people to boycott with you. Because you making a post does not reach like you think it reaches. Because once again, on Twitter, we are 1%, if that,
and
of the
Twitter
gaming community. And it ain't real.
I mean, geez, like, god dang, people. So first things first, round 2 of the Bipark Streamer Awards voting started, I want to say Friday. So I left a link in the description. Please go to that link and vote for your favorite streamer, YouTuber / Twitch / Kick content creator, and let's make sure that we show our support and love for the BIPOC Streamer Awards. So, Jack, what you been playing?
Right now I'm kind of taking a break. I was playing Xeno as always, but Switch 2 is right around the corner. I want to see if that 60 frames thing comes to fruition.
Man, you need to go see what you need to do is go 15 frames.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'll be reminiscent of our Majora Mass Ocarina of Time.
Everybody off 4K 15 frames a second.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't been playing anything. I tried what was it? I tried South of Midnight the other day. Now, the only way I was able to try it was late, I want to say last week. My LG TV finally got the update to have Xbox Cloud on the LG TV, because it's been on Samsung, but LG just got it like last week. So paired up my Pro controller to it and, gave them like a hot month for Game Pass, and was able to try out. Now I have it plugged in, hardwired, and it's still a little with the cloud stuff. So, I'm pretty sure I can't get a full experience, but honestly, I mean, I hope I get a chance to experience it through Switch 2. Because I have my ROG Ally still, but it's been wiped off because I did have somebody that was going to buy it, but then they backed out at the last minute, so I haven't even set that back up again. So I do have a means of playing it better than over the cloud, but I don't think I'm gonna go through that headache of setting up that Ally again.
I mean, yeah, that's why I be laughing when I hear people say, "Oh man, they got to worry about the Steam Deck and the." I'm like, no, they don't.
No. Honestly, the hot commodity right now is going to be those retro handhelds, because they've all paused their shipments from China.
Well, they have to, because there ain't nobody finna buy that.
No,
not with them tariffs kicking in. They ain't.
But the suck part about it is there were 2 new devices that came out when that happened, and so now for people that purchased it, they're not getting it anytime soon.
Yeah.
So now, mind you, the company came out and said, "Hey, look, if you bought it, we ain't shipping it none time soon." So it's not even the guesstimation. They came out with a full post like, "Hey, so
they can't afford it. They ain't gonna be able to afford to bring it in." So
yeah. And they were like, just go to our American warehouses if you can, because of course those are going to go out immediately. So I'm counting on some of my retro devices to kind of double in sale prices because people want them so bad. But yeah, those the Ally X's, the Steam, don't nobody want them damn things. And then what makes it even worse, when I went to GameStop to ask, like, "Hey, do y'all take Steam Deck trade-ins?" Because my son wanted to trade his in, and he was like, "No, we can't do it anymore because we don't have our partnership with Steam anymore." Like, I guess GameStop and Valve don't have their partnership anymore. So he was like, we can't sell, we can't take in anymore. Like, it's done. So any stock we have remaining, we're getting rid of. But he was like, we don't have that partnership anymore.
Wasn't that supposed to be Switch Killer?
It was supposed to be.
I was just asking because I was just asking. I just want to know for my own edification, of course. Let's see. So if y'all been on Blue Sky or X, y'all know I've been playing Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
That
I'm
was the
digging Preacher and Terry. Need to play around with a couple more people. But I'm actually liking some of the stuff they did. I like that they actually gave people a different, two different styles of gameplay because I'm gonna be honest with you, doing it the traditional way is
Mhm.
an ass because I need a fight stick for that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fight stick. I do like the simplified controls because it just makes it easier to pull off your combos as
Okay.
to trying to get that. Because look, the D pad on the Xbox sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks. And I even went back because I have the Elite, so I went and popped the cross out and put the thumb diagonal and looking in there, and that didn't make it no better. So
Right.
I'm it's one of those situations where I probably need to invest in a fight stick, and I'm probably going to at some point. But it's a fun game though if you are into fighters. I just want them to make that Fatal Fury, the next Fatal Fury movie, so I can see Geese fall because the opening intro is directed by Masami Abari, who did
Okay.
Fatal Fury anime. So I'm like, don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Don't do this as an anime fan. Don't do this to me. Also, I am still playing Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm trying to get to where I get the flight. Once I do that mission to get the flight upgrade, then I'm gonna
Right.
stop and wait till switch to and
Yeah.
see how that's gonna play out before I do in game before I go and finish the game and stuff.
Yep.
Um, also jump back into Tears of the Kingdom just because I need to finish building my land tank and my X-wing. Uh, so I jump back into that just so because I really want to fight a Gliok before Switch 2 comes and I get that upgrade.
Gliok.
Yeah,
Gliok.
that's how he act. Freaking cheating bastard. Anyway,
Gliok. Got the Gliok.
yeah, got that Gliok. That's the most cheatingest freaking villain.
I run from him every time. I don't care
I'm
who
like,
I
bro,
am. I run from him.
but say I need to get the parts off of him. No, so
He
he
got
gonna
it.
die. He gonna die. He gonna die in a hilarious way. But my problem is my only problem with that is I bet you the first time I beat one of them, a blood moon gonna happen right then.
right on
like,
the money.
No. So yeah, I'm betting a blood moon gonna happen. I'm gonna be trying to get the parts. A blood moon gonna happen. I ain't gonna be able to get away far enough, and he gonna kill me.
Yeah, I haven't. Anytime I see him from afar, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
What's that over there?
Cool.
That look like three heads. You know what?
Yeah.
I just go back over here.
I'm straight. I'm straight.
I'm good. I'm good.
I remember falling from the.
Where's Ganondorf again? I'll fight him again.
I'll fight him all day.
Yeah.
Like I said, I fell from the sky one time and I was about to fall on top of it. I'm like, hey, whoa, now we're just gonna go to this way.
Yeah. Let me just
go this way because I don't have a single weapon that's gonna do anything to him.
Especially the king one, the one that got the lightning, the fire, and
I don't have time for it. I'm cool.
Yeah, the devil is a lie. So all right, so I have been I'm waiting to pre-order the Switch 2 through Nintendo. The reason why I did not do the Walmart, GameStop, or Best Buy is because in the past I have had bad experiences with my pre-orders of tech from them, where either have the release date, they'll say they got my spot saved, and then 2 days before it's supposed to get here, they say it's pushed back a week or a week and a half. And that's happened one time too many. I've never had an issue pre-ordering stuff from Nintendo.com. Right. So I'm just gonna go through them. And they're supposed to send those emails out. I want to say first, second week in May. So since I've been doing mine pretty much the whole time, I hope I'm in that first batch. So I can just go in and get mine because I've just had too many bad experiences. And me and GameStop have a love-hate relationship, mostly hate. So yeah, I'm not even doing that with them because they don't be wanting to let me do nothing unless I promise to sign back up. No, I'm not signing back up with your stuff. No, no, I'm not doing it. So were you able to get one?
Oh yeah. Okay. Like I said, I had my whole thing planned out. So I knew, what was it? I think the week before the pre-orders went up, I went to GameStop, did my trade-in for my Xbox. After trading in my Series X, I had like 3 sports games, and then of course I had I can't even say it's a standard controller because it was the purple one I bought. But the controller that came with the Series X when I initially bought it was the Elite controller.
Yeah.
So I took that, and those don't even really go for much, to be honest with you.
You might as well keep those.
Yeah. So I mean, because you couldn't even give them the pieces either, because I had to buy the pieces separate. Whenever I got it from GameStop, and I was like, "Hey, do y'all take these?" Like, "No, we don't take them." So I'm like, "All right, cool." But after everything was traded in, because I got rid of like some Xbox One controls I had just laying around the house, they hadn't been serving any purpose other than just wasting batteries. But so I end up getting like 500 in total at the end of it, and so I was able to get that pre-ordered. I did Cyberpunk 2077, Sonic Cross the Shadows Generations, because I was one of the ones that didn't purchase it on Switch. So
I love that game. I love that game on Switch, dude.
I don't have to worry about this upgrade thing that people are upset about. And then also I pre-ordered Split Fiction, which I'm going to get rid of because I did not know it was digital only. So no point in pre-ordering it with them. So I might as well just wait and get it from the eShop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. Like when I do get what I'm doing is just a base system because I'm not getting the bundle, a GameCube controller because you know why.
Oh, you actually come in good with that though, going through Nintendo because you get first dibs at the GameCube controller. Yeah.
So GameCube controller and a Switch Pro controller. So that's the 3 things I'm getting because, like I told y'all, I'm just gonna be playing my stuff because since I'm a member NSO, like the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom upgrade, I ain't got to worry about paying for it.
Me too. Yeah, so I'm the same way.
I'm not even worried about that. So,
well, I'm surprised they didn't let us pre-order Joy-Cons. Like I get it, they're coming from China, but it's
I think they're waiting on that. I think that's what because I think the Pro, if I'm not mistaken, the Pro controls are being done in Vietnam. So that's why it's not that. But I think the Joy-Cons are still. So they like, look, dog, y'all just have to get the ones you got.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, let me pre-order Joy-Cons. He's like, you can't do that. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So I ended up getting a Pro controller instead because I still got one more trade in to do, which I'll do the night before the midnight release and go trade in my Switch and all the good stuff. Because I told the guy, because I had saw the news about them doing the system transfer that night. I was like, nah. I said, I'm not playing that game. I got all my stuff backed up on the cloud. I'm not even gonna add to y'all headache because I feel for you having to go and do all that because that's gonna be time consuming.
That's
and I
really
hope y'all figure that out. Because if y'all say, hey, here's a line for people that need to do transfers, here's the people that don't need to do it, please do it that way. Because I'm not trying to sit here all night because y'all gotta do system transfers.
Yeah. I wouldn't even I just no, just back stuff up to the cloud, please.
That's all you gotta do. But but you know, he was like at first it was like a wait and see thing, but then that Thursday, he said after we had our conference call, he said, yeah, we have to do it. And I said, boy, and I got the GameStop I went and pre-ordered is our second biggest GameStop here in the Hillsborough County area.
Oh, boy.
So he was like, because we had a total of like 130 systems that you could pre-order. And so, yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all. He said, because I'm the person on call for the midnight release.
That's why I stopped doing midnight releases, man. Well, the reason why I started doing midnight releases is twofold. One, I can wait till in the morning because I'm not playing that night. And number 2, you know, going out at midnight, depending on where you at, like cats be acting a fool. And especially
that can be nowadays,
I'm like, bro, I'm not one of those people that say I don't believe in violence. I believe in violence, especially when it's self-defense. Especially when it's self-defense. Like I believe in violence. I do. I really do. So I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, I don't want to put myself in that situation because the last midnight release I went to was Smash Brothers Brawl in 2008.
Oh wow!
So and I was sitting there, and there was a couple out there trying to jack people. I'm like, are y'all out y'all damn mind?
That's crazy.
That was crazy. I'm sitting there like, I know good and well because they had to call the cops because they was trying to like.
Wow.
Every time somebody came out, they was in their face and people was like, man, back up off me.
Yeah, y'all they would have been beat that night.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, so I'm like, you know what? It ain't that serious. And on top of that, like especially with me, I had to work in the morning, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll just get it when I get out because I got a pre-order. If you sell it, I'm suing.
that's it. Yeah, simple as
So
that. Yeah.
if you sell it, I'm suing. So yeah.
Well, we're good in our area. But I know one of the key things is for my youngest. He didn't get a chance. He was born, but he didn't get a chance to do the Switch midnight release. So he has to hear his older brother constantly tell that story over and over again. So it's
like, boy, shut up. We ain't going out there. Boy, shut up. We ain't going out there.
So now he really want to go and like because we made it a thing, you know, so opposed to just kind of going out there and just sitting in line all day, it was like, okay, we went, we showed up, did some final trade-ins, got our ticket, and then we left, got something to eat, and then, you know what I'm saying, we ate, just had a good time, and then we came back, stood in line for maybe like 10-15 minutes, and they took the bags from the back, and they had everybody's name and their receipt stapled to them, and they just handed it to them. Yeah.
That was easy. Okay. Night Wolf, I have been on Amazon, and there are a couple of them that say that they are compatible with Switch 2. So
there's 2 terabyte.
The 2 terabyte, yeah.
They have one?
Yeah. They started selling them. Yeah, they started selling them. Yeah. Dude, they got 1.5 and 2.
I thought they because I only saw like 1 terabyte and that was from Lexar.
There's a bunch of them on there. The 1.5s came out last August, and the 2 terabytes came out earlier this year.
Hold on.
But
and it was from Amazon, who exactly? You know who?
I can't remember. I just remember it was in my feed. Hold on a second. It's probably still there. But yeah, I saw them on there. Let's see. This one is SanDisk. This one is SanDisk 2 terabyte Extreme Micro SD 8 XCUHS.
Oh, okay. So now that's not the Express one though.
No, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, because I was about to say that's the one thing I don't like about these cards. They look too much alike.
Yeah,
too much alike.
I know I saved it. Now, where in the world did I? Don't tell me they took it down. I hate when Amazon do that mess.
Yeah, because I thought the Express only went up to 1 terabyte.
No, because I saw them for 1.5 and for 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say I've seen
and
EX
it's not
on
in my
there too. Yeah,
and it's not in my list anymore. They have a no picture shown.
Wow,
they done took that mug down. Great.
Yeah, because I'm about to say the only one I've seen is 1, but I was
there is a 1 terabyte, and I know because the one that I had picked I picked like the 1.5. I didn't pick the 2. I picked the 1.5. So I'll keep my eye on it, and if I see anything else, I'll make sure to like put a post on the community tab and then Blue Sky and X if they come back up. So but mine you know what? When they cannot show the picture anymore, and then they have the thing, so it's there on my list, but it's basically not there. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Amazon. All right, so tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about fan service in games, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it because, and I'm not trying to, I'm trying to get like an understanding just for me, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, when I hear the word fan service and it's applied to a game that's T for teen and up, I'm like, why are you complaining? You should be able to handle this as an adult. As a teenager, you should be able to handle it, but as an adult, you shouldn't be complaining about seeing the human body.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
You should not be complaining about that. So I made I made a statement about one of the characters of Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's Goetia. She's a femme fatale alien. They put her in basically a gymnast outfit onesie with a thong back.
Oh yeah, with the cheeks out.
Yeah, with the cheeks out. Now, the 2 times they show her, one time they have her in her scale, and she's talking trash. And of course, there's part of the shot. The camera's behind her, and she's talking trash to Elma. Then
Yeah.
the very first time is in chapter 5 where you see her. She comes out the fire from blowing up the lifehold piece, and it's a walk. The camera's moving around, but they do show the whole body. Okay. Now some people say they hold the camera on her backside for 10 seconds.
Why are you counting?
Why are you counting? Number one, and number two, the camera when at that scene, the camera is moving around because she's talking. So you're
Yeah.
getting like first you get the leg shot, then you get the side shot her from the side. Then they do the head shot because she's an alien, so you see the tendrils and all of that. Then they do another back shot. Then they do another spin around shot, and then you see her with the flames behind her, and her and Elma just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, y'all cropped a picture of her with the cheeks out, and y'all complaining about fan service.
That's the bigger problem because
Yeah,
you
like
took the time to crop that picture.
yeah, you stopped it when they stopped when the picture was on her was on that shot. You cropped it and saved it because the scene is big. It's not a small scene, so you had to crop it. So it's looking like this. And so I made that statement, and apparently people want to drag me for it, and I'm like, what I said that was wrong, because the same thing happened with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. People got mad about some of the female blades and what they were wearing. It's a T for teen rated game. You should be able to handle that as an adult. And they claim fan service. Those same people, when Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out, and Jack, you remember this? There was how many ass shots of Uni in that first 2 weeks? Just like straight up ass shots.
Yeah,
like
100%.
And I'm just sitting there like, and this from the people that was complaining about fan service for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So I'm like, so what's the definition? What is the definition of fan service? To me, I'm like, okay, so I had to look it up. So, of course, this is from dictionary.com.
Okay.
Material added to a work of fiction perceived or actual purpose of appealing to the audience. Okay. Used especially of material that is risque or sexual in nature. The scene where the fan favorite and the new character meet is pure fan service is their example. So, for me, I'm like, okay, that's a generalized definition.
Yeah.
For me, because I watch a lot of anime too as well, you could say like fan service parts like for One Piece, anything that Sanji does when he sees a woman.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, you got to also understand Japanese comedy because Sanji and Master Roshi do that, but I dare you to touch or beat a woman and see what happened to you.
Oh yeah, they in your ass 100%.
So like, don't be like it's you got to understand what medium you're in. So for me, I'm sitting there like I don't see nothing wrong with it because one, Goetia is a femme fatale character. So in any Bond film, y'all know what the femme fatale characters do.
Yeah, exactly.
They seductresses, they assassins, they they're all of the above. So you should be able to handle that as. Let me preface this. You should be able to handle this as an adult.
As an adult, yeah.
You should be able to handle that. That shouldn't even make you upset because you should already understand what that character archetype is. Once again, Goetia is a femme fatale.
Right.
I'm like, and to be honest, I didn't draw, but a woman did because the head artist for Xenoblade Chronicles X was a woman. So, who you gonna get mad at?
This is my thing. Like, I don't understand why we have ESRB if people are not going to utilize it.
Yeah.
And then you have the crowd that they want to kind of go through and filter everything, even when it's not even in their space. And it's like, okay, I can get your point somewhat if I want to be like super, super picky to where you don't want nothing risque in this world. Good luck. That's this world revolves around that. But it is one, I think what I heard a joke and it was mentioning just kind of how this guy went out of his way to just really complain about this radio station. and he didn't like the content. He didn't care for the content. And it was like, you do know there's a knob on there. One's for the volume and one's for tuning the actual station. You can just move on to something else. Everything doesn't have to be tailor made for you. Because this particular situation can feed into 1,000 others within this gaming space of like, oh, this game sucks. Why won't they make this game? There's other companies that make games, buddy, that you like. It doesn't have to come from this particular game. It's the same thing with the music. Hey, this artist won't ever switch up their style. There's other artists that do this. You don't have to get everything from this one artist. It's not a one size fit all situation. But yeah, I don't know, like the fan service stuff and the way people complain about it just doesn't make sense to me. And then the way that they target people that do go and explain, not even defend, but genuinely just try to educate you on what it is and why it really shouldn't be a big issue. Yeah. It just lets me know that you have some other underlying issue with what you're seeing. It's crazy to me.
And the other thing, I'm like, go to a beach.
That don't count.
Because my thing is this, like when I was a kid, we went to the beach, like nobody was, they wore like the one-piece swimsuits. You go to a beach now, all you finna see is cheeks. That's all you finna see. Boy. And you're gonna see an old man in a Speedo want to talk to you with his hands on his hips for some damn reason. But
suntanned up, my buddy Orange.
So how you doing? Great day today, huh? Sir, you know we're over here barbecuing, you know. Like, man,
first put your chest hairs and your piece away, sir. I don't want that,
bruh, please, bruh, like, so, yeah, like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you getting mad about that, and then you got people that, for instance, got mad at Xenoblade, not Xenoblade, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, so much so to the point where Koei Tecmo was like, we're not even bringing 3 over.
I wouldn't.
We're not.
Yeah, I would.
Because we're tired of hearing this. And the fact of the matter is you got mad at them, but didn't get mad at Hugo Boss, Chanel, Ralph Lauren, because they was the ones that was doing the swimsuits for the doggone game. Because it was kind of like an advertisement for them too. They had fashion designers do it. That wasn't them doing it. They had fashion designers do it, but you got mad at them saying it was objectifying women. I'm like, it's volleyball. Have y'all not seen a volleyball match?
Okay, I told you, people selective with what they complain about.
Yeah.
And the RJ, I would never, like, I've had my ideas ruined with a new beach. Like,
RJ, if you want to laugh, I was in Miami one time and we was at a family reunion, and me and my mom, because we were staying on South Beach, and so me and my mom were just walking and talking, you know, having a heart to heart. And we messed around and kept walking a little bit too far. All I did, me and my mom looked at each other, just turned around and walked back.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Because that was not what we wanted to see.
Because, you know, because I like coming up, you just think like, oh man, this has got to be a bunch of like great body. No. The old squad out there. The old. A lot of sagging out there, and I ain't talking pants.
Talking about 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds out there butt booty naked and want to talk to you, want to hold a conversation with you is the problem. They want to do it. They see you with all your clothes on. They want to have a conversation with you. Like, sir, nah, dude.
I'm going to need you to back all the way up. I don't need you. No, don't talk to me. The same thing like trying to get into a fight. I'm not fighting nobody naked. It's not happening. Like I'm not doing it.
This is not ancient Greece, bro.
No.
We don't get down like that.
I used to like, man, one day I want to go, and then nah, because the right people ain't there. It's just the right people ain't there.
Or if they are, they got their clothes on.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this ruined all of my little hopes and dreams.
Yep. Never again. Never again.
Nah, I'm straight on that.
Yeah. But so Todd, I agree. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that mindset is very immature. And my thing is, once again, if we're playing an M-rated game or a teen-rated game, you should be able to handle it. Now, if you allow your kids to play that game, that is not nobody's problem, but the parent. The parent allowed that. That's not the developer's fault. That's not the ESRB fault. If you are a parent and you decided to allow your child to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Don't get mad when he started cussing everybody out and not stop talking.
Yeah. And I mean, as a parent myself, you see other parents and you realize that a parent is a very loose term. It's a very
very.
loose term. There are some that, hey, as long as I can get you to shut up, I'll do anything.
Mhm.
And then when that anything turns to be something crazy or something that's out of the realm of their age or maturity, rather, because that's why I tell my kids, I was like, it's not an age thing with you, it's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
Like, because my son asked me all the time, like, Dad, so when am I going to be old enough to play Grand Theft Auto? I said, dude, I'm not even old enough to play Grand Theft Auto. I said, I said, it's a maturity thing at this point. I said, because Grand Theft Auto be having some wild stuff. I don't think I'm old enough to play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you realize a lot of parents would rather place blame because it's like, hey, I gave this to my child to babysit my child, and because it showcased something I didn't check out beforehand, this is on you. I'm like, maybe you can just parent your damn child. That might be the best solution here. It's it's just it's the craziest thing. But yeah, you'll get cursed out for telling a parent to parent their child.
Yeah.
It's the wildest thing.
Wow, completely wild. But that's why I wanted to talk about that, because I just like it is. It's the same place.
It does, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
There's some
yeah.
areas, yeah, for sure.
If you walk in South Beach, like there are areas of the beach, because it's one long beach. It's not like it's they do have it section, like there is signs, but you can easily just walk into it.
Oh yeah,
And
especially if you
that's
don't catch a sign.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what happened with me and my mom. We were just walking and talking, and just talking about life and stuff like that. And next thing we know, we walking, we just started seeing stuff we didn't want to see, and we just looked at each other like, you know what, time for us to turn around and walk. Time to
yeah.
turn around and walk back to the hotel.
But
So
it's crazy though, because like
yeah,
even I don't know how we still on this, but
yeah,
like even if you don't go to one, if you go to just a standard beach, the swimsuits now are
yeah,
damn near like
yeah. That's why I was like, if you can't handle that, then the problem is not with the artist.
yeah, it's with you.
The problem with you personally, because like I said, if you go to any beach now, bruh, you finna see some. You finna see something.
You ain't got to turn on porn at that point. You just go to the
Nah,
beach.
you
Like,
just gonna see. I'm like,
especially when you
bro.
get to the point of like the social media crowd. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I went to Miami Beach, it's like $20 to rent those umbrellas on the
Yeah.
beach. And literally, I kid you not, this girl and her I assume her boyfriend, they got one of the umbrellas. She spent 10 to 15 minutes doing pictures and videos, and they got up and left.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
all
that's
right,
what they
cool.
do.
Like right next to me, it was like a lot of applause, because I'm gonna make sure that I say it the right way. There was a lot of backwards applause. There was cheek applause that was happening, and I was like, okay. And then she had some other stuff going, and she made sure she had her content. And she went about her way. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Hey.
And these are the people. But you got people who get mad because they saw pixelated cheeks. You saw
Yeah,
pixelated cheeks, and you mad now. I'm like,
and that's the crazy part right there, because this is pixelate. This isn't even a real human
yeah,
being.
yeah.
That's
This is an alien play. They drew an alien that's playing an archetype.
yeah.
And the femme fatale is an archetype, and most times those femme fatales and those Bond movies and those other like assassin movies and stuff, half time they are half butt naked.
Yeah.
They are. I'm like, Transporter 2 had they called it the lingerie assassin.
Yeah.
Everything she wore was from Victoria's Secret and Fredericks of Hollywood. It's free catalog.
Yeah,
But
how about say if you want to keep your kids from skin, keep them out of entertainment,
yep.
keep them away from beaches, and at this point, keep them away from the gym. The gym
Yeah.
is wild at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, gym in the afternoon. Just go in the morning because them folks don't be
Oh
there in the morning.
no.
Well, up here they don't.
I go to the gym about 5:30, and yeah, it's there. It's there.
Usually where I'm at in Virginia, they don't go there till about 2. From about 2 to like 7 is when they're
Okay.
in there like that. In the morning time, that's why the people that really work out, they be there at 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
From like 4 to 9, that's when they there. But that afternoon crowd, that's when you get like the nails, the full on makeup. They constantly sipping water. They got the tightest athleisure stuff on. You like, are you even working out?
She
And
working
they
out,
always and they always in the way. Like if you're trying to get your workout in, they always in the way, and you like, okay, I'm trying to be nice, trying to wait for you to finish, and you're like, you ain't even doing nothing, man. I gotta go in 20 minutes. So yeah, so it be like that, man. It just be like that. That's why I was like, I don't get why grown people complain about fan service. Like you're an adult.
know. Yeah,
Handle it. Like handle it. You're an adult. Like you've had to have seen something. If you went to a beach at any time in the last 15 years, I know you'd have seen something worse than that.
Yeah, I'm about to say don't come to Florida either because once it get hot, that's
everyday wear.
That's
they walk around. They walk around like that after that. Boy, yeah.
My wife was like, "Wait a minute." She was like, "I feel like I'm like overdressed." I'm like, "Nah, you good?" As it's just that's what they wear because it's hot.
Now, to be fair, to be fair, when it's like 100, it was like 95 degrees, but it feel like 115, and you still got to go outside. I don't really blame them for that.
I'm still curious as to how you do it with leather seats. Hey, look,
you got to blast the AC. Oh. Okay, all right. So, all right. So, I asked Jack this before we went live, and I'm like, so apparently, Expedition 33 is the first time a turn-based RPG happened. So, my question is this, because I'm an RPG fan, so I play a bunch of different kinds of RPGs. The turn-based RPGs are off the chain, but like the problem is a lot of people didn't want to play them.
Yeah, and they thought they were boring.
So, yeah, they thought they were boring. Now, Expedition 33, I have not played it. I've seen some gameplay of it. It looks great. I got to give them props for that. It looks great. The combat looks smooth. If there is one thing that I noticed that I don't really like a lot, is way too many QTE events. I hate quick time events, but that's neither here nor there. But dude, we've had Child of Light was a turn-based RPG,
right?
A League of Legends story, The Ruined King, turn-based RPG. And that was what 2-3 years ago that came out. They did the re-release of Grandia 1 and 2, turn-based RPG. So my question is, since when does now that I'm playing it, now it exists. So
it's because my thing with turn-based, right? There was, for me at least, I feel like there was a time in gaming to where it seemed like there was a turn-based RPG that would drop almost every month.
Yeah.
And it was like oversaturated. And even with that, most people really kind of turn to Final Fantasy as like the flag holder for a turn-based RPG, even though we know there were a lot of other turn-based RPG games, if not better RPG games out there. But then it seemed like for a minute, it seemed like they took like a brief hiatus, but let's be honest, it really was. There were none that met or caught the eye of the media to really like bolster it as in, hey, we got this turn-based RPG. So with this game popping up, I love the response that it's getting. Now, some of the response I don't like that it's getting because it's getting it for a weird reason. So I love the fact that they hit a mill within a weekend. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love the fact that they, got the backing and the supporting they were supposed to get. But what I hate is, they only did this with 30 people. So now blase company has no excuse and it shouldn't. Now it's getting stupid. And then also the price point of like, well, they only did this for $50 and look what it looks like. And it gets caught up in the negative press, right? With the comparisons. But as far as like the now, turn-based RPGs are cool. I would imagine a lot of people that are playing there are going to fall off. Like they're probably not even going to finish it. They just caught up in the hype right now. It's the game to play. It looks amazing. It's on Game Pass. It's only $50. Especially after the news of the 80 with Mario Kart World is something to talk about. It's the same way like Yotai is getting a lot of press right now. Not only does it look good, but it's like, it's only 70. Like it's getting press for the wrong reasons. And that's where I feel like in reality, once this game goes, if another turn-based RPG shows up, nobody's paying any attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those situations where I'm just like, okay, I'm glad that the team got their game out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people are enjoying it for hopefully the right reasons.
Right.
Because we do need more we need more variety of
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah. There you go.
that's the thing. Like everything can't be action RPG. It just ain't gonna work. Like that. Everything don't need to be 100+ hours either.
Correct.
So
Yep.
we need some of those back to 20 to 60 hour RPGs. We need those.
Right.
Like you don't need. Look, I love the Trails of Cold, the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel series, but every game don't need to be 140+ hours just to get through the regular game. All right. Look, I know y'all built this crazy world, but I'm finna go back to East because y'all just taking too long.
Yeah.
I've done that. It's just one of those things. Like I'm like, look, like, people just don't. We don't have time like that.
No, you don't.
To be fair, we don't have time like that. Like even when I was back in college, like I was thankful that Grandia was only 30 hours.
Right.
That Legend of Zelda was only 30 hours. If I think it was like 40 to 50 if you want to get everything, but you could beat it in like 20 to 30 hours. Like,
right.
We need some more of that. Like, your story don't got to be that grand. Just tell your story.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell a good story, you ain't got to worry about, oh man, if people gonna think that it's Oscar worthy, nobody cares, bro. Just make a good game. Nobody really cares, bro. Just make a good game. If your game is good, it's gonna speak for itself.
Yeah,
that's why I always go back to Ocarina of Time. 15 frames a second, and nobody cared.
Right.
Like, oh man, Miyamoto can't write a good story to save his life. Everything that went on in that damn game. So apparently, he know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Apparently, that team knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because they made it where you can feed off of, you can make different stories from anything of the hundreds of plot lines that they left open. So it's not. People gonna remember it if it's good.
Yeah, and I think the big thing with this one too is the style. Because if you look at a lot of turn-based RPGs, they're very bland and they're in the way that they showcase the action. It's like, okay, I press this button, I go and I do poof, and then I come back to my spot. Like there's no flair unless I'm doing like a special attack. And it's like, okay, cool. I got the special attack or I got the combo attack, similar to like when you look at a Chrono Trigger or, any game like that, to where it's like, okay, we got these dual attacks or these triple attacks and they look cool. They're the flair of it. But majority of the time, let's say you get strong enough, I don't need to pull that off unless I get to an actual boss. But when you look at this game in particular, every attack has some type of cinematic flair to it. It looks good. It looks something like appealing or interesting. It's the one thing that I've always knocked Pokemon for. If I'm going to attack and you said, okay, I did a seismic toss, and in the background it looks like I went out of Earth and came back, but in reality we just bumped into each other. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no flair to the attack, and that's where I think a lot of people really, really can get into it, because you have to keep people's attention with turn-based. Especially if you're talking about the type of turn-based to where you're on the overmap and every step I take, I can get into an encounter. Like I don't get to control that encounter. So every time it's zoom out, then we zoom into the fighting scene, and then it's a bland-ish fight because you got to fight the little whatever that's in that world, and it gets tiring after a while. And I know I've said that myself. So to see this, and I agree with you, I didn't expect every attack to be QTE. That's annoying. Like that's insane. And I know you can only turn some of it off. You can't turn all of it off from what I've seen on the reviews. But the fact that I can do an attack and you make it look so good, and it looks like I'm doing real damage, and it has like some type of flair to it, I think that's what's really catching people too.
The other thing that kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter Stories too, like when they do their anime crash out cutscenes, like they do a good job with that. And Nightwolf, I agree with you. I think it depends on games like Xenoblade and Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. The reason I think those work is because of how the world is set up.
Exactly.
And like, for instance, like with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, after you can beat the game in 50 hours, but you could just stay in that world and just adventure.
It's not grinding. So you just having fun, and yeah.
So I think that's what set those games apart from those other games. Like the Legend of Heroes series where you're doing stuff, but it's the story and it's like it's still going on. And you're like, okay, dude, I've been playing this game for 3 weeks and I'm still ain't and I've been putting in like at least 10 hours on the Friday and Saturday and I'm still ain't nowhere. So it's one of them situations. Yeah. So I do agree. But yeah, it's one of those situations now. I think most people trying to make like these grandiose statement games, and you're like, bro, it ain't that serious. It's a video game, dude.
Exactly.
If you want to make a movie, man, just draft up a script,
make a movie,
and make a movie, bro. Just nah. So, Shadow, your thoughts?
I just want people to stop pretending Nintendo doesn't exist. Like, we did this with Astrobot already. Like, you appreciate the small budget and a small team and what they're able to do with dedication and a small budget. Like, Nintendo exists, man.
That's
like,
been Nintendo. Yeah.
I just listened to Spawn Wave today describe this game, and all I thought about was Xenoblade Chronicles X the whole time. And not because that's the game I'm playing. Everything he said literally describes Xenoblade Chronicles X, and so. And that was one of the first things I thought about too when I first saw the trailer for Expedition 33. I'm like, oh yeah, they're doing the countdown thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So not only is that like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or whatever, we're talking about, hey, every once in a while, everybody's life gets deleted, right?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, we just deleting people. And Xenoblade Chronicles X is like, hey,
you got 10 years, bro.
Yeah, after every major chapter, that counter goes down on that tower.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting like right now I'm at like 9%. I'm like, so yeah, this is real close to life, like ending for everyone. And everything else, well, it's kind of like action RPG, and it's a deep gameplay system, and you can choose which one. I'm like,
bro,
kind of sounds real familiar, but it's a low budget, but the story is really, really good. I'm like, okay, this team of less than 100 people, like in 2015, okay.
Shadow, you gotta blame your cousin Jeff Keighley for that.
And I have a strange feeling he's going to do the exact same thing by the end of this year, and it's going to be Game of the Year nominee.
You know it,
and I'm pretty sure these cue cards have already been handed out to the people that have been given codes for this game already. Anyway, they've had codes for weeks. They've been playing it for weeks, and then time the game came out, they pretended like they just downloaded it last night.
Yep. I mean, we know they was going to get it first because they got to review it out the gate. So
yeah,
right. We already know that, but I do still plan on picking it up at some point, just like I plan on picking up South of Midnight at some point. But I just because it's fake. I'll just say it like that. It's fake.
Yeah,
it's fake because there's so many other games that do that, and on top of that, like there have been turn-based RPGs coming out like every year for the past like 8 years, and y'all ignore them. So what are you talking about? Like seriously.
These turn-based RPGs been coming out because they've been coming out on Switch all this time, right? They haven't been ignoring Switch like they normally do.
It's Switch and PlayStation.
Like and notice how Persona wasn't important anymore the moment they all got ported to Switch.
Yep.
Everybody talking Persona. Yeah. Near Automata. And as soon as they became Switch projects, nobody talked about them anymore.
Well, Near Automata, the reason why they got mad at that because that's when that lie got exposed about the whole 60 frames.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And remember, people could tell with the naked eye that with 60 frames to 30 frames.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, it's only 1080p on Switch because they cut so much out and they did all. I'm like, bro, that game was great. I don't know what you're talking about. It was good to me. Yeah, they took some things out of the game, and I'm thinking like they didn't even have to do that because it's more CPU bound than it is GPU bound. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where just admit, hey, the Maxwell architecture is way newer than that crap that's in PS4. I don't like, and the CPU is way newer than the Jaguar CPU that's in PS4. There are inherent advantages to that, and obviously you're not overclocking a Switch to be 2 gigahertz. But even at the lower clocks that it has, it still does things better than the PS4 does. PS4,
I can't wait
it's
for
a 2012 chipset. What do we even? You know what I mean? Why are we even having this discussion right now? Like a 2012 chipset versus a 2017 chipset. Even though it's low wattage, it still has newer stuff.
But Digital Foundry
cater to it.
Digital Foundry. That's why we're gonna keep talking about Digital Foundry, because Digital Foundry says the certain games weren't using DLSS until CD Projekt Red just came out and straight up said, yes, it is.
They've been using it the whole time. they said it. They said that Street Fighter wasn't using it. I'm like, it's there. It is. It's enabled.
Yeah.
Capcom and CD Projekt Red pretty much destroyed digital. That's why I'm like, if you pay for that Patreon, okay, you paid to get lied to. You paying to get lied to.
I think the other problem is too, like now you can't make the excuses anymore. You can't say, oh well, open world game can't happen on Switch 2, like I mean, because they literally made Mario Kart an open world game now. They Xenobladed the Mario Kart. So you can't say that this engine won't work on here. They did it in 4K for you. There's no DLSS, just raw 4K 60 for you. What are you gonna do? So now there's not a complaint for that. You got daggone a Metroid Prime port in 120 frames per second. Like you could pick and choose whether you want it on TV or in your hand. And Steam Deck ain't doing that. So and that's the thing. So you can't. Now there's this thing. All the talking points they're gone. Yep. They tried to apply all the talking points to Switch 2, and you just can't do them.
Right.
RJ, it's not possible on the Switch 2 because Florida Man can be rendered. Florida Man cannot be rendered on the Switch 2. It can only be rendered with the power of the PS5 Pro 6.
Yeah.
I said for a long time, the only reason that the GTA ports are on Switch right now is because 2K said fucking do
money.
It.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can say money. We need money.
Because there's for whatever reason there's still a beef between them.
Yeah. Which is wild.
They weren't even called Rockstar North at the time then. They were called DMA Design way back then.
Yeah.
That's how bad this beef goes. It has nothing to do with technology. It has nothing to do with, I mean, it's not even money at this point. It's just straight up business hatred. I'm not doing business with you no more.
Nah, man. I ain't got no friends. That's why. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
And I'm like, with the way business goes, like your enemy today will be your necessity tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that happens in a video game industry where you want as many eyeballs as possible for your game. I don't know how you could ever do such a thing.
But that's the thing.
Doesn't have blast processing
because the crazy part about it is because the thing is like that's gonna always be the ultimate comparison until this game comes out. The thing is we haven't even seen gameplay of GTA 6.
No,
like we have not seen gameplay at all. Like that, the cinematic we got is very reminiscent of 5, and the 5 looked drastically different from what we got. So I mean, Rockstar is not stupid. Like they're gonna ensure that they can spread this game everywhere because if that budget is the way that budget was, they're not getting that back from PlayStation to Xbox.
No,
I'm wondering.
They got to send it everywhere. They don't have a choice.
So I'm wondering now. I wonder if now this is 2K, right? 2K is a very large publisher now, so it's not just Rockstar at this point now, right?
Correct.
But I wonder how the influence is happening at this point. I wonder if Microsoft and Sony are talking to 2K and they're saying, "Hey, look, let's not make this a 9th generation project. Let's stretch this out as much as we can, and we're gonna have dedicated versions of PS6 and Xbox 5 or what have you. That's going to be the new thing." And I'm wondering because what we can't do is GTA 6 launches day and date on Switch 2, PS5, and Series X, and the average person won't be able to tell the difference.
Correct. Yeah. That's gonna be a blow.
Look at Street Fighter 5. Look at Street Fighter 6 right now. Street Fighter 6. It looks like a better version. It looks like if you took the PS4 version and ran it on PS5.
Yeah,
because those things are still missing. So like you still have the extra, like the background characters or whatever are missing, but the quality is the same as PS5.
Yeah. I'm not paying attention to background characters. Like, let me focus on my fighters.
I could care less. Yeah.
But and it's not like those extra characters can be rendered anyway if you're in dock mode. So that was just a decision for them to get it working on handheld.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
That's one of those things where I'm like, bro, if you put screenshots side by side and can't nobody tell the difference between all 3 of those versions, it's going to be really bad when and this is the first foray of developers figuring out how DLSS is going to work on this system.
Right.
and they're just playing around. So if that port is already doing what it needs to do, and somebody actually makes effort, like man, those excuses are going to go away.
So how long do y'all think the launch games, at least, how long do y'all think the developers had to put this together?
About a year, probably.
Yeah.
I would say about a year.
The majority of publishers, like even in one of the Nintendo live streams, they kind of let loose that they've only had the kits for like a year. They were
right. Okay.
A lot of these ports, these conversions and stuff, they were done in a year's time or less than a year's time.
Because they've had internally, they've been working on it for like 2-3 years internally with their games and stuff, but like they didn't send them out, from what I understand.
Like, when Nintendo said get your games ready for 4K, that was it right there.
Yeah.
When they said it, then that's when they started.
Because that's amazing when you talk about that year. Because that's amazing in itself. Because now it's like, even the first thing I think about with Cyberpunk, right? Because that's the go-to. Like, for whatever reason, that's the test bed for people right now. They can still upgrade this with patches. Like, this may not be the say all be all with this game, because they still got time to work on it for sure. But it's like, you're probably going to get a day one patch, and that patch is going to make it run even better than what it is right now.
This is one of those situations where it might not even need DLSS. You might be able to switch at some point and just say, I don't want DLSS, just give me high quality. And you just play that docked and you're good. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future, the way things go. And I keep hearing all these great things about CD Projekt Red and how they want to do whatever, but at the same point in time, I know that Witcher 3 only exists on Switch because Nintendo helped fund it.
Yep, so exactly.
I'm they're like, well, CD Projekt Red, they do great on their ports. I'm like, we haven't seen them on a Nintendo project ever, really, not like this.
No, not day and date. And then not to mention too, I mean, y'all were just complaining about when Cyberpunk first came out. That looked awful. That was a bad situation.
Yep. And that's not what it looked like on Switch 2, but that's what it looked like on PS4. Straight up. Straight up. And
all
PC to some extent.
Yeah. All right. So, question. Should we get a Dreamcast NSO?
No. Nope.
I don't. It's up to Sega at this point.
We got Genesis, so should we get a Dreamcast or a Saturn NSO?
And I'll tell you why if after Shadow gives his answer.
I'm only thinking it would be in Sega's best interest, because for whatever reason they can't seem to sell their own games. I don't know what's going on with that, but they partner with Nintendo and they make money. This virtual console Genesis, like on 2 systems now. We've had situations where you play Sega games on the Nintendo platform and people show up. So I don't know how well Sega Saturn would do. I think Dreamcast would get more attention than Sega Saturn would. Mm-hmm. And honestly, maybe Sega is making more money doing the collections and putting them on everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was about. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You do different collections and you just keep putting them out on PS4, PS5, and Switch or whatever, and you make money. I still don't know why they didn't sell well on Xbox. Like, they were the biggest publisher on OG Xbox in the beginning, and like just nobody was biting. I don't understand. I love Jet Set Radio Future.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi. All that stuff was
Shenmue.
Yeah. What is other? I forgot the other game I had. It's like the robot. It was a launch game. It wasn't Otogi. It was the other one. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, it was an Xbox launch game, and I played the crap out of it. Got in my closet over here. I just need to grab it. But Sega had Smilebit and the Panzer Dragoon Studio. They all supported Xbox off the gate. So you figured they have like a little bit of a following. Like it was kind of like Xbox was the sequel to Dreamcast in a lot of ways. So,
well, Microsoft did help Sega make it, so there's that. All right, so Jack,
so the reason why I say they shouldn't do it is, well, there's kind of a multi-answer situation. So one, licensing issues, because you're going to run into the Crazy Taxi issue. That music in itself is going to kill that game, because a lot of people won't deal with it. As Shadow said, we have collections. Like, Sega's been releasing quite a few collections, whether it's from Sonic, or now we're getting into Power Stone, the Rival School games. Like, they've put them elsewhere. Now, it'd be cool if it's on NSO, but in reality, when I look at games like Crazy Taxi, and I look at like let's say Ready to Rumble, if it was one of the ones that they were gonna remake, I rather them do the new ones and just kind of leave the nostalgic ones in the back, like leave the retros where they are, because simply you can kind of come and just give it a brand new face. I think with Sega, they're at that point to where they've shown us these games and we haven't seen jack squat after that.
Yep, been 2
And
years.
they've been asking, people have been asking for Dreamcast, whether it was a Dreamcast Mini or just like these
And they
games,
just straight up said no to that.
and they said no.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, at this point, that lets me know that you, in your mind, you have a reason to move forward. And I agree with you. Like we love these games. Yep. Some of them we just can't.
Valkyrie is the game I was thinking about. Okay.
Yeah. Some of these we just can't get due to licensing issues. I'm pretty sure there's other reasons, legal reasons why we can't get some other ones. But if I'm looking at Sega and I'm saying, okay, would I rather get you Dreamcast games on NSO, or you just kind of reestablish these franchises with these new games? I'd rather them do that. Like, get these out the gate first, and if you want to do it after the fact, cool. Like, just to say, okay, these were the older games, but I want to see these new ones come out first and get like this new generation that never even experienced Dreamcast in there to like, this is my first hands on, my first eyes on these games. And because really you're going to get to that point of, let's say, from what we're hearing with Crazy Taxi, the whole thing around Crazy Taxi was arcade based, as well as you had the box challenges of trying to complete those box challenges. This new one seems like it's like a cops and robbers online situation.
Yeah. So
that's where I'm like, okay, if they execute that well and it looks good, it runs good, it controls good, yeah, let's shoot for that. Because I mean, honestly, as fun as Crazy Taxi was, those taxis were hard as hell to control. It's like it was all over the place. So I just rather them get a fresh look, a good look on these franchises that we love, opposed to reintroducing the retro games and then people kind of like either fool with it or not, and then just kind of leads them to not purchase these new games that come up. So I want those new eyes on it first, on the new games.
Okay, here's why I think they should probably do at least the Dreamcast one.
Okay.
And that's because just what you said. We've been waiting for 2.5 years ever since they did that trailer, and we ain't got nothing. So I'm like, okay, do something. Like, just do something for the meantime. You know what I'm saying? For the meantime, in between time. See, and when people ask you act like you got an attitude when somebody asks you. Like, nobody told y'all to put that trailer out.
Nobody.
So you can't then now have an attitude when people ask you, hey man, what's going on with it?
What was the purpose though?
Yeah. Because I thought it was just one of those situations where like, okay, maybe they're just trying to get at nostalgia just to see where people's heads are. And I'm like, all right, but y'all ain't done nothing with it yet. So I think they should do at least a Dreamcast one, because you have Genesis. Yeah, Sega Genesis right there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure they're getting some of the money from like sales of the Genesis controller. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably get some money off of the Dreamcast controller setup they do or whatever. So like, I'm like, bro, just do that. Like, I understand, like, wanting to get newer people acclimated to it, but I would be thinking that if they would have gave us some kind of update by now. We ain't got no update.
Nothing. Now, so with that too, though. So you mentioned Dreamcast, and we already got Sega. Do they just leave everything else in between out of there?
Well, I would probably, because for this one, I would probably just do like the most popular stuff or the most asked about stuff, like Skies of Arcadia, for example.
Okay.
Skies of Arcadia, probably Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. You know,
how would that come to GameCube NSO for Skies of Arcadia?
Yeah, well, Skies of Arcadia and especially Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, that probably come to GameCube. If it was me thinking, I would do that because those are the better versions. Those are the better versions of those games.
Better selling versions too.
Yeah, so I would do that. But like Dreamcast had a lot of good games too that could still like drum up some interest.
Yep.
Once again, I wouldn't be saying this if they would just give us an update. But since they won't give us an update, and we have no idea if they even doing this stuff anymore, you might as well just go on and like make something anyway. Make a little bit of something.
So what if the reason why they've been so quiet is that the Nintendo Switch 2 is a lead platform?
If that's the case, cool, but you should have said something by now. I mean, but then again, that goes back to that thing that we said earlier. Oh well, late last year. Stop putting trailers out 2, 3, 4, 5 years in advance. Stop doing that.
Because we don't even know which one's coming first.
No, because at first it was supposed to be that Streets of Rage Crazy Taxi was supposed to be, but now I'm hearing that it's the Crazy Taxi when they was talking about doing that as a live service. They got feedback on that nobody wanted that. And they were like, okay, we can't do that. So now I think it's the Golden Axe one. I think I
thought it was maybe Shinobi or Jet Ground Radio.
Yeah, well, they're saying Shinobi, but they need to hold off on Shinobi, honestly.
But .mu is doing Shinobi. .mu is doing a version of Shinobi that's coming out August. So I'm like,
they need to hold off on that one. They need to let that one cook because Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out. So I'm like, man, y'all did this to yourself. You shouldn't have put that trailer out if your games wasn't at least two or three of those games should have been ready to go. Or so close to the finish line that you would have had them out within a year. But that pack, I'm like, because I was thinking Streets of Rage was ready to go.
Yep.
The way they were showing Streets of Rage and Golden Axe, I thought it was ready to go. I'm like, and plus people still hyped on Streets of Rage 4, so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. But
it would have been perfect timing. Yeah.
But then you let Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come out. And,
but that was good. That was good.
But you realize
I still ran back to Streets of Rage 4, but that was good.
But you realize they paint themselves in the corner for damn near all their games because we have not heard a single thing about Cross Worlds since that beta. I don't know. We don't know when that game's coming.
Don't have.
So now you got Sonic Cross Worlds. We don't know when it's coming. Crazy Taxi. Streets of Rage with Golden Axe, Shinobi.
They're Shinobi, not their .mu. They're Shinobi.
So then why even do that with .mu if you have your own?
I'm guessing .mu they already started that before that even came out. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense that they had already started preliminary work on it before they even made that announcement.
They probably reached out to Sega and said, "Hey, can we use your licensing to make this pixel art game?" And that's probably what they did.
That's all right.
That's crazy.
Because I'm not even signing off on that when I know I'm working on something.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Sega. They don't. Sega's like, make money? We don't do that here. Here, go ahead and use that licensing and we'll, the game that we're cooking.
Because this doesn't even make sense. Because now, like to your point with the Crazy Taxi situation, I'm pretty sure they're watching every live service game get beat up right now or canceled. So it's like you're now probably starting that game over from scratch. You have to. If that's the guts of that game is live service, you're starting that over from scratch.
Yeah. That's
jeez. Hey, all right. Yeah, Sega does what Nintendo don't, and that's sell games because that's jeez.
You want to root for them because they want to. They were one of the OGs, and you want some type of successful rebound.
Yeah.
Even as a third party, but they just can't get out of their own way. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They have the franchises. They've always had.
They've always had them. Yeah, they've always had them.
And it's not like Sonic Team is horrible. What do we?
I think the problem with Sonic Team is they're making it too hard on themselves. Like it should not be like that. Like, bro, people just wanted Sonic Adventure 3.
Yeah.
And they didn't want Sonic 2006. They didn't want the werewolf game, the werehog game. They didn't want Sonic. They didn't even want Sonic World and Sonic Lost World and Colors. They didn't want none of that. They wanted Sonic Adventure 3.
And they won't do it.
I'm still tripping about Virtua Fighter 6, or should I say Virtua Fighter 5 again?
Because
they won't say what that is. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Is it Virtua Fighter 6 or is it Virtua Fighter 5 again? Like, what are we? I mean,
Because then they go for sale.
They're waiting for Masahiro Sakurai to use it so they can use some of the character design from them.
But yeah, I mean, but that adds more to what I was talking about, though. I don't want to see another retro nothing until they start releasing some new games.
Yeah,
I don't want to see no retro nothing from you because.
But that's why I think that's why it gets into like a sticky situation, just because I'm like y'all gave us a trailer with like 7 games in it.
Yes.
And you won't update nobody.
Yeah.
So I don't. Hey man, it is what it is at this point. Like
this is where I would appreciate, because I'm not a big fan of leakers, but this is where I would appreciate leakers. Like, tell me something, man. Like this is.
They don't know. You can't leak some if the company you leaking from don't know either.
Yeah.
You can't leak some if they don't know.
At least something like, hey, they ain't got a clue.
Look at an email. Hey, we got this new email. It says, I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have a clue. Like, all right.
Don't you work there? I do. I mean, dude, they just told us to come in and help power wash the windows. That's what I think. You know? That's what
make some more assets and models, and we'll use it somewhere.
I drew a lot of stuff, and we made some beats. Other than that,
that's crazy.
And you look at projections, and it's like pachinko machines. Like, I'm like, what are we doing?
I think we made a couple beats, and Cardi B want to buy one of them. So I mean, that's pretty much what I did this week. You know,
this movie came out, and people were playing Michael Jackson's Moonwalker in it, so we licensed some of that, and that's about it for this year. So see you back next year, and I'm like, no, we need more than that. What are we doing?
Yeah. So I mean,
poor Sega.
I know.
I can't even say that because they do it to themselves.
They do it to themselves. Yeah. Like, I mean, I would love for them to put the Wildfire Sonic games that was on
on Wii.
Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight. I would love for them to keep doing some more stuff in that, but they won't do it.
And they would look really good in HD.
Yeah,
they would look really good.
Like, I would have made a pack, but see, they need to change because the Sonic and the Secret Rings, that one, they made you do ridiculous stuff that that would be frustrating for people. But
for the tasks in the game,
they would have to change that out. They'd have to do some quality of life stuff for that. But Black Knight, you could go straight through that because they didn't make you do everything. So, and the Sonic Cross Worlds thing, I do feel a little bit bad because, they put theirs out, but nobody was expecting an open world Mario Kart.
Nobody was expecting that. No.
Yeah, nobody was expecting it. Meanwhile, Monolith Soft and Nintendo like, oh man, that's cute.
Yep.
It's so cute.
Remember all the trash Sega fans were talking when that game got announced? They're like, look at this Sonic. I was like, you sure you want
it? Meanwhile, Monolith just like, hey dog, check this out. They think they did something. They think they did something. Look at this.
Because that hurt. Because it hurt. It hurt. Because when we first saw it was like, okay, it looks like a bigger Mario Kart. Yeah. They're driving, but nobody expected that. And then I'm pretty sure Sonic Team is like, shit. Did nobody notice? Like
it did. You know what I mean? Even more funny if it was supposed to come out the same day. Like it was supposed to come out June 5th.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that game was supposed to be out already.
Yeah,
I feel like it was.
Hell no! They're like, hell no! This is not coming out now. Move that to November.
Now, don't get it twisted. Like I still plan to purchase the game. Like it's one because I love Sonic, the team racing games. Like those were fun games.
Yeah, they're fun games. Like it's not like the games are bad. It's just like, bruh, nobody was expecting Monolith Soft to make an open world Mario Kart game. Because yes, I'm saying Monolith Soft did it because that looks like something Monolith Soft would do.
What's so crazy is it's so unintentional. It's not like Nintendo sitting scheming like we know what Sega's doing. Okay,
yeah,
they have no clue. Yeah.
Nintendo's just like we picked these guys up in 2005. They have not done anything bad since then. Yeah. All they do is drop hits, and we supported them. Their game sold 1 million. We continue doing it. Thank you, Operation Rainfall.
And now we bought them. And now we bought them. So they work for us now.
That's crazy.
It's kind of like feeling bad for Guerrilla Games because man, Horizon comes out. You're like, man, this is gonna be a good game. Breath of the Wild. The next one come out. Elden Ring. You're like, bro, they can't catch a break.
You know what's so crazy about Horizon though? You want to give them credit though because they switched it up. We went from shooter to open world game.
Yeah.
And this is our first open world game, and it's not bad. And I was like,
yeah,
you want to give them that, but then you put it next to one of the greatest Zelda games of all time. And
first of all, you win at Zelda.
But once again, similar to Crossworlds, you didn't anticipate that.
Yeah,
You didn't think about that. Because I mean, in all honesty, I mean, we've seen Zelda kind of, be more or less in the same formula for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a lot of people wanted the whole what was it, the whole little CGI little demo that we got. It was, oh, that's what Zelda's eventually going to look like, but nobody could have guessed Breath of the Wild. And then Tears of the Kingdom with the whole you couldn't have guessed any of it. Like, not even close.
When you had somebody build a giant Godzilla in Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm thinking it's fake, and I'm like, no, they did that.
Yeah.
Now you're about to see that. Now you're about to have that in your hands, because with Zelda Notes, you can just get that off people.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now
I'm getting that X-Wing off somebody. And I'm making it. And then that Gliok is mine.
The only thing I hate about that was it basically confirmed that there won't be any second screen support.
Yeah.
I was like,
you don't need it. Just give me the blueprints. Don't need it. Just give me the blueprints.
I'm like, can I just take my Switch Lite and make it a Wii U gamepad?
Look,
Nintendo's like, nope. We're not doing that again.
I just need the person that made that tank and that X-Wing to just give up the doggone blueprint. I'll take care of the rest myself.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple mid-boss battles that deserve some get back. So
somebody said, see that hill, you can drive there, right? So I'm thinking, do you think they're gonna do Xenoblade plus Tears of the Kingdom on this? Like, I kind of gave that hint to Nintendo Prime. I was like, hey man, they're not really showing you Rainbow Road for a reason.
Yeah,
I really think it's above everything down here.
Please don't do that to me, man.
I really do, because they show where it's supposed to be, but they kind of like intentionally not. They kind of let you know that there's stars everywhere on that map too. So it's like, are those stars or are those shadows of stars? What are we doing? So, bruh, if Rainbow Road literally traverses all of this, but above it, they did another Tears of the Kingdom on us for sure. And that's some Nintendo ass shit. Excuse my French. That's some Nintendo ass shit, and that's the type of stuff that they do. They're over here like, we're marketing this game, guys, and here you go, blah blah blah. And the game launches, and they're like, they have no idea what they're about to get into. Nope. And all of a sudden they're like, the reviews are going crazy because they're finding this out as they're reviewing it, and they cannot give it a bad score based on
they
that.
Can't.
They cannot. Like,
but this makes me think like Mario is about to be stupid. Like Mario is about to be stupid, because now like I think they're gonna go the route of what they did with Bowser's Fury. This is about to be open world Mario.
And they're using Donkey Kong to practice.
Yep.
That's pretty much what they did. I mean, that's pretty much how they always do that, though. Like, that's why I'm like, whatever this 3D Mario is, that they just like, and I'm pretty sure it's probably 75% done.
Yeah.
Because they've been working on it since probably 2018, 2019.
Probably.
So they're just going to be like, okay, this will be our first game of 2026, I guess. So
I'm not ready, man. I'm
not.
I mean, dude, if they did HD 8-bit sequence, I just knew they were going to do an 8-bit HD 8-bit version of something. They never did it. So I don't know what them young bucks got in mind, but that young team that they got in the garage, bruh, them dudes earn all they raises.
Yeah, that's why there's so many franchises that I'm like, what are y'all about to do to take it to the next level? Because I mean, you think about, these are franchises that have been around for 20 plus years, and it's like you keep putting new coat of paint on them and making them more appealing, more modern, and outdoing games that IPs that just came out or that have been around for at least a generation. So when I see stuff like Splatoon that could be on the horizon, I'm like, what how are y'all going to evolve Splatoon? Because even for me, Splatoon 3 was kind of like it was just like refreshing or just kind of fine-tuning what we've been getting with Splatoon 1 and 2.
I think you're seeing it with Mario Kart World right now.
Possibly, yeah.
It's gonna be freaking huge.
Can you imagine Fortnite and Splatoon at this point?
Yeah.
Man.
I really believe that.
A lot of paint.
And when you drop in, you literally drop in. So your team is there and you drop in.
That's a lot of Splatoon. That's a lot of paint.
Yeah.
But
I see it. I see it already.
Yeah.
Like you can see all the makings in they're like, oh, Monolith has 300 people now. Oh, they all working. They're not just gonna sit there.
They ain't working. Yeah. They working on something.
But Sega, I will say this, regardless of what I saw, I'll still pick up Crossworlds if you just tell somebody when it's coming out.
Yeah.
Like, just let people know.
I mean, it looks fun. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it does.
Looks fun. It's just, Nintendo didn't have to go that hard. But yeah.
I will say, like, based off of the people that played it, I would, if said true, because I know, like, a couple people made this comment that sometimes it just gets a little too chaotic with all the items on the screen. So if they can fine tune that, then cool. Because the last thing I want to do is just race and just consistently getting hit and people hitting each other and bumping into each other. That gets a little ridiculous. But if they could fine tune that, then yeah, I'll pick it up, because they still in those other games too. I mean, you had the time trials, you had the little boss races, you had like quite a few things you could pull off in those games, and it wasn't just pure racing. So I'm curious to see how they go about adding that along with these different worlds. But then also too, they got to compete with Fast Fusions, because Fast Fusions is, jeez, man.
And that game's like $20.
Yeah, 20.
15.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, 15.
I feel bad for Wipeout, man, because I'm like, dude,
that's Sony's fault at that point. Yeah. It's like, because they have these franchises that they could continue to push. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things of like, I'm just excited to see these games come up. June 5th can't get here fast enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Ooh, that's true. That is true. All right, peeps. We are gonna call it a night because your boy got to go to work in the morning. So we're gonna call it a night here. Jack, anything you want to pimp out?
Nah, not really, man. I just been chilling.
Okay.
But would really waiting for some more content to come out. I want to see too, like the next time we can do these. Well, when can we do these Joy-Con pre-orders? And if we'll get more footage between now and then on some of the games that were at the live experience, because I want to see more of Dragon Drive.
Yep.
I want to see more of the Zelda notes, which it looks like they showed a lot at the Treehouse, but I want to see more. But then I know a lot of the other stuff you probably won't see much of, but definitely I want to see more Dragon Drive and experience World Tour for myself, because at this point, to get clicks, people are like, oh, it's just a manual. I was like, but they explicitly told you there's a gang of mini games in here, and they can be replayed because there's a ranking system and like getting 3 stars or 2 stars. So to be that disingenuous just to get some clicks is kind of wild, but I'll be definitely picking that up day one for sure.
The age we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, Shadowfox, what about you, man?
Nothing much. Content still coming up on the channel, so I would say, don't leave my dead channel yet. But other than that, I want people to know everybody knows that the Giga Leak happened back in 2021, right? Mm-hmm. So I just need people to understand, if you actually read that document, you probably would know before that anyway. But for whatever reason, on Twitter, people are making up things and pretending other things aren't real. Nintendo does not make game cards. They outsource that to Should I put an exact link in there to the exact leak that points to why that is and how they're laid out and who the manufacturers
are? They're not going to read it. They're not going to look at it.
People don't read
it's just frustrating to go through some of this stuff. And like, this is confirmed information from 2021, man. Like, and if you don't know those basic things, why are you coming in here and making these? The whole point, I know what the whole point is. The whole point is to blame Nintendo for the prices, right? And I'm like, well, you can't do that if they don't set the prices. They don't make the memory. They don't make the cards themselves at all. They're just a go-between before you order them. And then they're mass-produced for the third party or what have you.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where they don't understand it. And I'm like, there's no Microsoft employee anywhere printing discs, right? Like if you want an Xbox game and it makes cert, there's a third-party company those go to get mass-produced.
Right.
It's not. That's just weird to me. But people are saying that, and I had one guy tell me that because there's a Nintendo number on it, and I'm like, Nintendo didn't make the Tegra chipset, but there's a Nintendo number on that too.
Exactly.
Like, what do you want me to? So you want to say Nvidia doesn't exist now? What are we doing? But anyways, that's pretty much all I got going on. I got other content that I'm going to do for another thing that I think I already posted it on Twitter about what I'm going to do it about. Is the deal with Switch 2 because nobody's talking about it for whatever reason. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the memory address space and all kind of stuff. So just as I get things together, just listen out for it, and I'll put some type of notification on YouTube or something. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. All right, peeps, we're gonna call it there, and we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So peace out, people.
All right,
Peace.
Later, y'all.